Another day, another beach. And all the beaches look a little bit different, but one thing I have noticed about Californian beaches is the width of them. Look at the width of this beach here, and it's all sand. Most of the beaches are sand. There's a little bit of a few rocky outcrops and that around as well. I can't remember the name of this one, I will tell you what it is, but Ken's brought us here. We're on our way now. We've left Monterey, the Carmel area, and we're on our way on the last little stretch down into San Francisco, up into San Francisco, and we're heading over there to see a concrete ship, and that's probably the reason it didn't get very far. Well, as I just mentioned, I've just found out the name of the beach. It's Seabright Beach in Aptos, California. You can see the stretch of the beach, and behind me is a big ship. And well, as I just mentioned, we're going to go out and see in a minute, but I've got Ken here with me, who's the local. He's the man who knows all about this stuff. So what are we going to see and why?
What we have here is the SS Palo Alto, and it is a concrete ship. Concrete. These were
an unusual design, so much.
Very unusual. These were ordered up by around the end of the First World War.
Oh, right, okay.
And they were built up in Oakland. The ship works in Oakland, and the government ordered, like, I forget how many, maybe 10 or so, and they'd only completed 2 or 3 of them before the end of the war. So this thing came out of the shipyards in Oakland like a couple months after World War I ended, and there was no use for it. So it sat in the bay there in Oakland for about 10 years or so.
Okay.
And then it was bought by a private investor and dragged down here. So actually, it had to be dragged down here because before it was sold to that investor, the Army sold all the innards for scrap. So, you know, the propellers, the engines, and all of that ended up in other ships and reused. Yeah. So the only time I'd ever seen it under its own power was the test run around San Francisco Bay right after it was completed.
Yeah. Not a great record of service.
Not a great record of service. No. So it was dragged down here, where it was a nightclub. The idea of the private investors
was
it was an offshore nightclub.
Yeah, this way, wasn't it?
Yeah. And the point of an offshore nightclub was to get around the prohibition laws, so they could serve booze.
Is it offshore?
Yeah, it's offshore. Okay. So it was a prohibition era offshore nightclub.
Okay.
And then the Great Depression hit. The place went bankrupt.
That's one unlucky ship.
It's one unlucky ship. So it's been sitting here. It's now part of a state park, and it's been battered by the waves for 80 years.
And I should show you that in a minute, because unfortunately I can't get into the shop very well. Yeah. Not with us 2 ugly mugs in it anyway. So
if you put on scuba gear and swim around it, it's like we have no coral reefs here, but that's like a coral reef. All sorts of sea life attaching itself.
They've done that in other places where they've sunk things purposely. They have the British coast left things sunk them purposely to create an artificial sort of reef or something like that.
Exactly. So that's what we have here, just a little local landmark and a nice day to walk in.
And this is one of those sort of places that Ken said, right, we're going to see you. He said, it's a little sight you'll want to see. And I'm impressed with this beach as well. Just saying to Ken, I could certainly run along this beach, and there's a long way to run. Excellent. Right, I'll show you the ship in a sec. And here's the ship itself. As you can see what Ken meant, it's a bit dilapidated, the SS Palo Alto, one of the unluckiest ships in history, and the one that's done the least amount of miles, I suppose. But if I pan round, if I come round here, you can see the pier that you can go out onto to see it, and you can see the extent of the beach. And I'll pan round, just look at the ocean, you know, why not? As I said to Ken, I've just seen this beach, I've got to go. We're walking along the little boardwalk, and I said to Ken, I've got to go down there and walk on the beach. There's Gary with his socks off and shoes off, having a paddle. Sounds like a damn good idea to me. Another lovely spot. Thank you, Ken. Well, here we are at the bottom of the pier, and this is it, the concrete US Palo Alto that Ken was talking about this a minute ago. Some people behind me photographing and photographing. Enjoying it. Any sailors on it now? Our seagulls. Well, of course, as soon as I'm here by the Pacific Ocean, I just had to take my shoes and socks off and go into the water. So let's see what it's like, shall we? I've been told it's quite cold by Gary. We'll see. Here it comes. Ah! Well, yeah, that's pretty cold, but I've done it. So that's another ocean that I can tick off that I put my feet on.